Well, just getting everything set up here. Don't see anybody in the conversation yet, but oh, looks like that we have one person in. Maybe drop a line and say hello. Happy Saturday. Thought I've been in a little bit of a mood. Very close friend of mine just passed away. Her name was Shannon. Her name is Shannon. And she's going to be dearly missed. So, kind of doing this little paint session in honor of her tonight. Probably going to crack a beer. Probably going to listen to some music. Well, I am listening to music now. I do not own the rights to any of the music you hear tonight. So I'm just playing music that I enjoy listening to while I work. Hopefully, none of the bands object to that, or their labels for that matter. Taking a little bit of a risk here, but hopefully I won't see any hassle from it. Just kind of getting my station prepped here. I'm going to be working on this bass tonight for her. Should be pretty fun. Basically gonna airbrush, do some airbrushing here. Which, by the way, I ordered a new airbrush. Another Harder and Steenbeck airbrush. I bought the Squidmar Evolution, or no, not Evolution, Squidmar Ultra limited edition. Ordered it from Harder and Steenbeck directly, so probably won't see it for a couple of weeks since it's coming from Germany. But really looking forward to playing with that airbrush, that's for sure. Just waiting a little longer. We'll see if anybody comes in. If anybody's here now, feel free to say hi. I'm unable to look at my recording source right now to see if we've got anybody in the live stream here with us. Hopefully we'll get a few people in the chat. Shall see. Oh. In the meantime, I'm just kind of restocking some of my supplies here. Who's all here? So we got a couple people in here right now. So I like these long stem Q-tips. Just for general purpose. I use them to stir paint. Do all kinds of shit with these things. If you're just coming in, kind of tonight's paint job is in honor of a very close friend of mine and for many years. Her name was Shannon. Her name is Shannon, and she died rather, I don't know, unexpectedly. This just on Thursday. So I've been kind of in a mood. And I thought it'd be good for me to come down here and hang out with some people, see if you guys want to chat, and paint. I'm gonna be working on this base for Spider Gwen. This was a model that I won from a giveaway. If anybody doesn't already know this, it was a giveaway through Hobby Link International, which is a channel that I follow. Love those guys over there. If you don't know who they are, I'll leave their YouTube tag. Um, but anyhow, Hobby Link International. So I won this model. It was like a random drawing. All I had to do was comment on the video that Kenny had done, and yeah, I happened to win it. Well, me being a 3D painter, 3D printer, and a painter, I print figures like this all the time. I have quite a few of them stacked up on the shelves on display. I don't really need another model. So I thought it'd be fun to give it away, which I do sometimes. Even my own models, I give some of them away. Some of them get sold. Um, just depends on circumstance. But anyhow, um, I asked Kenny if he'd be cool or thought it would be fun to get her all painted and do another giveaway where somebody wins her. So, anyways, that's what I'm doing. Is I'm painting Spider Gwen, and we're gonna pick a winner from our subscribers and whatnot um, to win this model. So it'll be cool. Whoever wins, I ship it to you for free. You don't have to do anything but wait for it to show up and put it on display somewhere. So it'll be cool. She's about I want to say 25 inches tall. She's a pretty big girl, pretty tall. This is a 1/4 scale Spider Gwen that was done by. Sorry for the camera shake there. That was done by Abe3D. I believe they provided the STL for the lovely people over at Hobby Link International. So yeah, I'm going to take her off her base now and start working on the base. I like to work from the bottom up when I'm painting my 3D models. It's kind of fun to just start with the bottom and then just work your way up. And when you're done, you can you're done. You put the head on it, and it's finished. So I'm gonna reposition my camera a little bit here and start setting up my airbrush. Start setting up my airbrush so we can get our first coat of paint down. Let's see. That looks like a good position. Yeah, we can work from there and see what happens. So I got my airbrush up here. We're gonna use my this is my Evolution by Harder and Steenbeck. Great airbrush. I think. Yeah. Just checking my nozzle that I have in there right now. I'm using the 0.28 millimeter nozzle, which is just kind of a general nozzle and needle combination. I can do fairly fine line work with the 0.28 and also washes and stuff like that. Highlighting basic first coat type stuff. Feel free to crack a beer. I am having a beer myself tonight in honor of my dear friend Shannon. Rest in peace, my dear, dear friend. And yeah, been kind of a weird week. I miss that girl. So I've got this Vallejo primer, gray, and I think that's what I'm going to use to get for the concrete, basically. I don't know. I kind of want to do a dark gray. I'm going to be doing some dry brushing on this. So, anyways, let's get our base coat down first. Start messing around with that. Get going on. Let's put some color down. That's what I like to do. So what's everybody up to tonight? How's your Saturday been so far? I see somebody's in the live stream here with me. Please say hello. Probably more paint than I need. One thing I like about this Vallejo primer is that this stuff is great straight out of the bottle. I don't need to. Typically, I don't need to do anything with it. Well, let's see. My compressor goes off at like 3 bars. Nope. I'm gonna be painting this part of the base in Musso black once this main part of the base is done. If you don't know what Musso black is, it is supposedly the darkest, blackest paint in the world. It blocks out, allegedly. I haven't seen the science on it, but allegedly it blocks out like 98.7% of visible light, which is pretty gnarly. It's very, very, very black. And the science behind how they make the paint is also really interesting, to be super nerd. So the bricks, I'm going to do the bricks in kind of brick red, and then the top part is going to be concrete. You see, every once in a while, you'll see me stop brushing and kind of flick the end of my brush. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling paint. If I can get that in focus, I'm pulling paint off the needle to keep from getting dry tip, which can cause splattering and stuff like that. I'm not too worried about any splatters or anything because concrete's not like uniform and perfectly even anyways. But I also like to keep my needle clean just for ease of work. I don't know if I even mixed this stuff well enough. I mixed it for a couple of minutes with my shaker. It still feels like it's coming out a little thick. It's alright though. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'm starting to do these live streams kind of on the regular. It's hit and miss. Some nights a lot of people show up. Some nights nobody shows up, which is fine. I'm gonna take portions of this video and cut it around, and eventually, uh, once I'm done with that, I make a video at the end. Oops, sorry for the camera shaking there. So I make a video at the end of it that's all edited, and sometimes there's some fun graphics and sound effects and weird stuff going on. So now I'm gonna clean out my cup. When I'm doing that, you see me moving the trigger back and forth, and what that does is the air passes over with water and whatnot. It's kind of helping clean the needle, which we want to be free of our previous color. And again, this is where these Q-tips come in handy. What I'll do is I'll wipe the inside of the cup with the Q-tip while I'm spraying the water out of it. And you'll be able to see with some paints, you can see these little globs up here. I don't want those going through my airbrush. So I like to swab those out. These little hospital wound cleaner squirter bottle thingies, love them. If you're doing airbrushing, those things are wonderful to have around. So now I'm gonna squirt some more in there. We're just about clean here, but I'm just clearing it, doing a little back flushing. And then we'll start working on our first color, which I haven't even decided on yet for the brick. All right, airbrush is clean. So now we can find a new color for our bricks. I'm almost thinking like a burnt red. I've got this Pro Acryl. Those are up here. I finally, yeah, actually I'm gonna take my camera off the mount real quick here. I can show you guys. I finally got my Pro Acryl. I 3D printed these little holders. I found it on, forget where I found the file. Maybe Maker World. I can't recall. But anyhow, the 3D printed in resin version of this didn't work all that great. So I had to do some modifications to the fasteners back here because they're spaced for like IKEA furniture or some shit. But anyhow, I did those all today. Cut the support part off and sanded them down so they fit the bottles a little better. There's always a little bit of shrinkage when you cure something with, in resin. A little bit of warpage, so I had to do some sanding and stuff like that to get that to fit right. Let's get my light repositioned here. So who's here? Who's watching me paint tonight? And thank you for being here. I highly appreciate you hanging out with me. But yeah, please comment. Let me know who's here. Say hello. And if you don't feel like saying hello, that's fine too. So I like this burnt. This is a burnt red Pro Acryl. I've never opened it yet. I have no idea what this paint looks like. That's actually a very nice brick color. Kind of like that. Let's go with that. So we're gonna mix this up real quick. This is a paint shaker that I absolutely love. I found it on Amazon. I will post the link in the description for the shaker, but I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I've tried quite a few different shakers out there, and this thing is money. It's got this hair clip thing, and you can put some pretty big bottles in this sucker. It won't do a rattle can, but yeah, it fits all kinds of. It does my Citadel bottles. It'll do anything by Vallejo. Sorry, Vallejo. Um, but yeah, fantastic paint shaker. Absolutely love it. All right, so go ahead and mix this up real quick. A little quieter if I take it off the table. Won't vibrate the camera so much. On camera, it looks like it's moving really slow, but this thing's actually hauling ass right now. Really mixing that paint up good. That's about all it needs. It's good air. This is their airbrush paint. This stuff's awesome. So far, really, really love this paint. My good friend Sarge over at Sergeant Digital Designs turned me on to this paint. Said, "Hey, you got to try this stuff. It's a little on the pricey side, but after using it for a couple different projects now, I'm playing around with it. I highly recommend it. It's good stuff. Very nice pigments and a nice fat selection. So, all right, load this up in our airbrush and see how it looks. That actually looks really good. I don't think I'm going to need to mix that at all. I don't think I'll need to put water in this. Actually, looking at it in my cup, I feel like I could thin it out a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, when I thin my paints, I don't use anything. Yeah, it's pretty low viscosity. It's kind of thick. Um, I don't use anything but distilled water through my airbrush. Um, you don't need to waste your money on all those expensive paint thinners or anything that companies will try to sell you. Just use distilled water and you'll be just fine. That's all you need. Um, Water in Southern California is extremely hard and crappy, and you definitely don't want to be trying to atomize that shit through your airbrush. So just go buy yourself a good sized jug of, I mean, doesn't matter where you live in the United States or anywhere in the world, buy yourself a good sized jug of distilled water and run that through your airbrush, and you'll be fine. That is a nice red. I think that's going to paint really well. Yeah. I'll be doing a wash over this red as well. Got to get into all those little cracks and crevices. Darken those out. And then I'll be doing some dry brushing on top of that to bring out the highlights. One thing I'm really digging about this particular model is the what is it, Abe3D. I guess they're kind of known for this too. Is their bases tend to be very simplistic, which is nice. You know, they want you to concentrate more on the model itself, which in this case is Spider Gwen. Right. this underside. Can you guys see all right? Everything look good? Do I sound all right? Microphone's working. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Got a couple people in here now. I'm just doing a late night paint session here. I think that's looking pretty good for our first coat of paint. Go ahead and clean our airbrush out, get ready for our next color. Now, another thing I like to use is I'll take an old paintbrush and I like to give her a squirt of, god damn, what is with this paintbrush? It doesn't want to come out. So give it a squirt of water and then take the paintbrush and get that down inside, swish it around to kind of clean the needle down there at the bottom of the cup. And you can take your swab again. And it's also good, I'll use a little bit of airbrush cleaner from time to time just to move that through. Keep all the parts nice and lubed. Give her a little back flush. We're still seeing a little bit of red in there when we're back flushing, so I want to get that rinsed out. There we go. Is my chat not turned on? Or is everybody just being that absolutely quiet tonight? Or did I miss a chat? Oh wait, what did I just... Pro Acryl. Ah, damn it, I missed it. How do I... see if I can open the live chat in this... on my monitor. I don't know how to do that. Channel, like, dislike. Live chat. Okay, it's on, but the messages disappear after a second. That sucks. I missed someone's comment. I glanced up at the last second. Somebody said something about Pro Acryl paints. So, yeah, I love them. So far, I mean, like I said, my buddy Derek over at Sergeant Digital Designs turned me on to Pro Acryl, and they're awesome. Which, by the way, check out Sergeant Digital Designs. Guy turns out some super sweet models. All right. Okay, what's next? Sorry about that. I really got to get used to having this armature on my phone. Maybe if I'm going to readjust my camera here. Phone, camera, phone. So who's all here? Say hello. Happy Saturday, everyone. Right, get this a little closer. Does that look all right? You guys can see. I'm not even really sure where I'm going with this. I just thought Saturday night paint session, just wing it. It's kind of how I always do it. But yeah, feel free to say hello. Let me know who's in here. What are you guys up to? Hopefully everyone's having a freaking awesome Saturday night. I hope. Really, really hope so. Let's see. Angler on red. Do I need to do anything more with the red is kind of what I'm feeling like. I feel like I need to do a dark wash over this brick to get into all these little cracks and crevices. Let that dry, and then do some dry brushing for the highlights. I'm kind of feeling like, keep it simple, dude. This may just have to be our dry brush color. Oh, hey, everything 3D. What's happening? Yeah, it is Sunday morning in the UK there. You're up late, bro. I got a good friend that lives in Newtown, South Wales. Is it Wales? South Wales? New South Wales? No, not in Australia. He's in the UK. He's 8. I always remember because he's 8 hours ahead of me. Let's see. Need some do I want to do Nuln Oil? Gotta make sure I even have enough Nuln Oil. Do I have another bottle over here? I think I do. No, that's Abaddon Black. Nuln Oil. Boom. I do have more. And so Sunday morning in the UK. What you doing up so late, my friend? Oops. Now, to anybody watching, if you just came in or whatever, I'm kind of doing this late night paint session in honor of a very dear friend of mine who just passed away on Thursday. Knew her for the better part of 25, almost 30 years. Her name was Shannon, and I'm just doing this live stream in honor of her tonight, having a little beer, just kind of hanging out. Working on Spider Gwen. So yeah, let's shake up some Nuln Oil and do a nice little wash on these bricks to get these the details popping out a little bit. So yeah, to anybody watching, here's to Shannon. Happy Saturday, happy Sunday morning, depending on where you are in the world. Really appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out with me and checking out my channel and giving me your time. It's nicest thing. Too hot for us out there. Oh, heat wave in the UK. That's not something you hear about very often either. It was a little warm here today too. I was looking at looking online, and I guess there's been a series of solar flares that have been happening. So that's making things hot around the world in places that usually aren't super hot. Excuse me, hold on. Yeah. apologize. My allergies have been crazy right now. And I work outside during the day, my Monday through Friday day job. And my allergies have just been crazy this last week. All right, so back to our Nuln Oil. So this is the stuff I'm using. If you're familiar with Citadel paints, you know how magical this stuff can be to achieve a nice dark wash, which is what I'm going to do here now. You can see how that stuff seeps into all these little cracks and crevices. You can be sloppy with it if you want, or you can use it to your advantage in other ways where you can kind of manipulate the paint to give different effects. You know, you don't have to, you can just stay in a line and only use it in the areas that you need it. Or you can be sloppy with it and use it to shade an entire space, which is kind of what I'm doing here with these bricks. The burnt red that I used by Pro Acryl wasn't really as dark as I wanted it. Well, I mean, it was dark. It was as dark as I wanted it, but I wanted to kind of scatter the hue a little bit. I didn't want the paint to be uniform. I wanted some of it to be a little faded or lighter looking in certain areas than others. If that makes sense. Yeah, that's looking nice. It's really getting into that brick and making it pop. So everything 3D, fill me in, man. You have a channel? Am I forgetting something? Have we spoke before? If sorry, my memory's been a little lapsed lately. Just had a lot going on in my personal life. So if I'm forgetting you, please forgive me. Basically, I'm asking because if you do everything 3D, I'm definitely going to want to visit your channel and check it out. All right, that's looking pretty cool. Yeah, I'm liking that. All right, on to the next wall. Section of wall. Yep, liking the way that looks so far. Using a lot of Nuln Oil to get into all these spots, but that's all right. Trying to hold this as steady as possible. So yeah, anyways, hope everybody's having an awesome Saturday night. I was out playing some pool for a little while. Billiards if you're in the UK. American pool, I guess, is what they might say. Need to get my mind off some shit, so I went and played a little pool. Did pretty well. Played all right tonight. Was happy with that. It's always nice when you have a good night because you spend a lot less quarters. And where I play, the local pub, Irish pub, I guess you could call it Irish. It's an Irish pub in the United States, but really cool place called O'Leary's. Lots of really good people there, and definitely some really good shooters. You go play pool there, you're gonna be in for a game. If if you take your pool seriously, like I I do. You can see now I'm just kind of like manipulating where I want these shadows to be. Some places it's a little thicker than I want. And you can just borrow some of it from another area. Take it over somewhere else. One way to help save paint, especially expensive paint. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys being here and hanging out. Thank you. Doing this on a Saturday night's a good way for me to stay out of trouble. That's one aspect that's great about this hobby. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. So that portion of the brick. So I'm gonna use a blow dryer here and hang out for a few while this is drying. So while I'm drying this, how's everybody doing? What are y'all up to? Leave a comment in the chat section. Sorry if I missed any comments. I'm obviously looking at this paint job, so I'll try to be better about looking at the screen, which I'm looking at now. Once these bricks are done, I'm going to mask that off and then work on the concrete portion of it. And then paint the base in that Musso black I was talking about earlier. I need to get this pretty dry because I'm going to be dry brushing on it. So yeah, thanks for hanging out and watching paint dry with me. I'm just going to set up my blow dryer here. Step away for a second. Let that piece dry. So now that I'm looking at my monitor, anybody care to say hello? Let me know who's in here. I can't see who's in the chat. Oh, I need to put my little rotating table down or something. Like that. Oh, there's a spot I missed. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. I need like a mount. Something to... Something I can just plant my hairdryer in, like that. And then put my Lazy Susan, you know, on a rotating table so that it'll rotate and dry at the same time. Trying to kind of like set it up on my iPad. There we go. Yeah, that's starting to dry now. Cool. I need some of these spots that are still kind of shiny. I need those to dry a little bit before I start hitting it with the dry brush. Just kind of looking around my studio right now, taking inventory. I've been kind of starting to slowly change things in the studio a little bit to make it a little more, I don't know, a little more cohesive. I got my paints up here, and I like how that's starting to work. And then these are some of the things I use for bases, weathering, you know, sponges, little roots and shit, masking, big brushes, all that. That's the whole workstation. That's my compressor where I keep all my other paints. Then I've got Grogu. Actually, I need to take him off of there while we're waiting for that to dry. Let's see, where's my other mount? Oh, it's up here. Hold on 1 second. I gotta... This is like a little camera rig. I got a print that I need to take off of my printer. There we go. Cool. Ugh, a little stuck there. Got more resin coming tomorrow so that I can start finishing up this print. Get this out of the way. These are the other parts to Spider Gwen. Set them right there. So this is kind of like my process when I'm taking a print off. Got to glove up. Some of you may know this part of 3D printing really well. So this is where my IPA bath is down here. Go put this out. Turn this a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So next, make sure this is unscrewed. And then I've got this little carrying tray right here. This is the part that's been drying. He can actually go up there. So what I do is take the build plate off. Got my little fan right here. This is a computer fan. It's a little USB computer fan. It blows air down to dry parts off. And then this is the intake right here for the for my resin printer. I keep everything ventilated. This looks pretty good. Doesn't look like we had any misprints, which is dope. And then I got my nice little trusty spatula here. Pop those all off. Sweet. Kind of give that a nice clean. Wipe off any excess residue, and then mount that back up. Getting a little low on resin, so I've got more coming tomorrow. I actually like using the automatic feeder. I know in the 3D printing world, a lot of people hate it. I personally really like the way this thing works. It allows, I can fill my resin vat. I can just hit feed and walk away and start doing other stuff, which I like. I like to maximize my efficiency and time and all that. So with these parts, I typically just take them, throw them right into the vat. Supports and all. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I'll kind of swish them around a little bit. And a lot of times I'll just kind of reach in, let them rinse out. You know, some people use like a super clean, you know, they'll do like 3-stage wash where you got dirty resin as the first thing you rinse it into. And then, you know, the second stage is like a cleaner bath of resin. And then the last rinse is like super clean, perfect resin or IPA. I don't do all that shit. And I haven't had any problems. A lot of times before I start working on it or painting it, well, the supports came off really nice. This is a pre-supported file by SW3D Studios, and they did a really nice job with the pre-supports on it. That's nice. So that's going onto the drying tub, and then take these next pieces out. Some of these are printed solid, so I'm not worried about drain holes. Like his face here is solid, so rinse him off real good. We'll pull these supports off like butter. Nice. And he goes onto the drying rack. I think the rest of these are ready. Got an arm. It looks like the key might have misprinted on this one. There we go. You still alive here? Yeah, we are. Okay. Room looks dead now. Nobody's here. That's cool. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's nice and dry. We can start dry brushing here. Now, dry brush color. Resin Rust. Just kind of dry brush some of these highlights here on the brick. We'll see how this looks. I was thinking just doing like a gray on top of it, but I feel like a real light dusting of like a bright orange, rusty color on the bricks might look cool. It's pretty bright, all right. Decisions. Do we go with that? Get my little dry brush pad here. Oops, sorry about that. Holy crap. This thing sealed itself shut. Alright, there we go. Excuse me. All right. Just getting a little bit of moisture on my dry brush here. Feel like that could use a little more now that I'm looking at it. I wanted to go really light at first, just to see how much warmth it brought to the bricks. I didn't want to overdo it. So. Yeah, okay. I'm actually really liking the way that's working. take this moment in time to thank all of my subscribers, new and old. I don't have many, but you guys, every single one of you, mean the world to me. I am honored and flattered by you giving me your time and coming to my channel and checking out these videos of me painting these models and just trying to live my best life with you guys. Really, really, really appreciate you being here. And if you're not subscribed and you like what I'm doing, you enjoy my content, if it's relaxing to you, whatever, please feel free to like and subscribe. I've been doing these live streams a little more often lately. They're kind of fun. I'm having a good time with them. Sometimes it's quiet, like tonight. Not really a hell of a lot of people commenting. I've seen quite a few people come in and visit real quick and then bounce out without saying a word. So if you feel like chatting or asking me a question, anything, feel free to drop a line in the chat section. Otherwise, stay chill. Hope you like what we're doing here. That's all I got. All right, rinse out this dry brush here. That's looking good. Making sure I'm keeping this nice and fluffed out. All right, that part of dry brushing is done. Next up, I want to do highlights. So with that, I'm going to do, pardon me, with that, I'm going to do a really fine dry brush. So no moisture on the brush, just straight paint and bristles, just to bring out some highlights on all these details with the brick. And to do that, I think I'm going to use, I don't want it to be white, so I think I'm going to use some deck tan. I think that's just, it's such a perfect like general color for doing highlights, especially on inorganic surfaces like brick and stuff like that. Everything has its right place. And for this, I'm going to use a nice fat makeup brush. Get all the dust off of it, make sure we don't have any dust in there. And I'm going to use my wet palette, which isn't very wet right now. Well, maybe I'm not. Yeah, it's still picking up a little bit of pigment there. Yeah, why not? We'll go with it. So what's everybody up to? Happy Saturday. Seen a lot of people come and go tonight, which is cool. It's Saturday. Everybody's got shit to do. About to do some dry brushing highlights on these bricks here. If you just popped in, I'm going to be using this makeup brush with no, not wetting it down or anything. It's just going to be straight paint and bristles. Like that. Get that dusted off. Don't know if you can tell what that's doing on camera, but it's really making these bricks pop nice. And I'm using a downward motion because I want the, the lights coming down on it. Hello, it's Goat Simulator time. Is that my wife? My wife's been playing Goat Simulator. I don't know if she made a new profile or what for YouTube. Hello, Goat Simulator. Thanks for popping in. All right, so we'll move on to this next section of wall. What you up to tonight, Goat? That's picking up some really nice highlights. I'm digging that. I'm really liking the way that looks. So, Goat Simulator aficionado, where do you hail from? What's up with your Saturday night? How are you? Hopefully, super well. Way too much. Get that dusted off a little more. That's good. Did Goat leave? All right, I think I'm happy with those bricks. Those are looking pretty tight. What do you guys think? I'm not sure how well that translates to camera, but on my end, it looks pretty dope. I think that looks super sweet. So that being said, I want to put a nice little clear coat on that real quick. Nice little bit of varnish so that we can protect those paint layers. I think I'm happy with the bricks and the way they turned out, and they don't need anything else done to them. So I'm gonna go ahead and seal that up and call it good, and then we're gonna do the concrete on the top, which should go nice and quick. Let's see, flat clear. I'm just going to be using a rattle can, flat clear, and I'm just kind of concentrating on just the brick portion right now. It doesn't really matter if we get some overspray on the concrete. It doesn't matter if we get some overspray on the concrete. That's cool because we're going to paint over that anyway. So I'm going to be taping this up and then probably just like dry brushing the concrete back on. You can see where I oversprayed a little bit of the reddish orange from the bricks. So we're going to get rid of that and then do a wash over the concrete to bring out all these little divots and stuff and, you know, make it look like concrete. And once that's done, Muso black on the base, and then we're on to the webbing. So let's clear coat this bad boy real quick. Sorry about the noise. We'll do this off camera though. Cool. Good to go. Boom. So again, that was a flat clear by Krylon Fusion. Good stuff. Give that a quick blow dry. Sorry about that. Time for a smoke break. Sip of some beer. What's everybody drinking tonight? No, it does not have to be alcohol. What's your, what is everyone's beverage of choice while they're hanging out and watching this? While I'm painting. Yeah, that feels good. Cool. All right, masking tape. No one? Nobody's got a beverage of choice they're enjoying right now? Fucking root beer or something? What, you guys are quiet. Oh, usually bourbon, but tonight was, Canadian Club. Hey, what's up, Brocker? I don't know why, but, or maybe I'm just missing it. I haven't seen a lot of chats coming through, and I keep looking up at my phone. So what's a Canadian Club? You know, I think I've just been distracted and maybe I'm not looking at my phone as much as I should. Yeah, no, chat's working, man. Sorry about that. Rye whiskey. Oh, dude, you got balls, man. I pretty much stopped drinking hard liquors years ago. Every once in a while, I'll have like a shot of tequila or something, but I will literally only have one shot when I do have a shot, and that's it. I just stick to beer now, and that keeps me out of trouble. I don't like being drunk anyways. I will smoke a little bit. Actually have some smoke with me down here. Tonight's kind of like, because it's the only thing guys could get during Prohibition. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess people that probably drink hard drinks, you know, or, you know, whiskey and stuff like that, they probably know about it. I'm just a little, well, no, I'm completely ignorant when it comes to that type of alcohol. Oh, Capone, yeah. 1930, 1931? I forget. when Prohibition started. Quick, Google that. All right. Now what? Back to the gray. Here we go. So this primer is what I used to do the concrete on top, and I think I'm just going to kind of dry brush it in. Just to clean up these little areas where there was some red. You know, just kind of dust over that. I'm just going to put it straight onto the napkin. This is just kind of a quick way to clean up something with some overspray on it without having to go and get your airbrush and all that crap again. At least this is the way I do it, you know, for something like this. Really quick, easy way to fix that. I don't want it to be perfectly uniform either. You know, it's concrete, so there's kind of different colors going on. Well, Brocker, forgive me. How long have you been here? I know I'm gonna feel bad about this. Been in the live stream with me here. What I miss? I'm definitely gonna start paying more attention. Oh, okay, cool. Well, cheers, man. Um, I was telling people earlier that I've been in a little mood the last couple of days. Mainly yesterday, I found out a very dear friend of mine passed away, somewhat suddenly, and been a rough. It was a rough night last night and today, and I thought it'd be a good idea for me to just come down and paint and you know, kind of honor her memory and have a beer. Yeah, me too, man. We all are. She's I don't live in a very big city. I live in I'm in Southern California. I think there's about 100 some odd thousand people here. Maybe 75,000. Population's pretty light, but anyhow, um, she's a fucking legend in this city. I've known her for her name was Shannon. Her name is Shannon. Um, I've known her for going on close to 30 years, and yeah, it was gnarly news. So I thought I'd come down and paint, kind of you know, have a little smoke, have a little beer, hang out with some people, and just chill. Played a little pool tonight, a little earlier today. Did really well. That also helped keep my mind off shit. And yeah, so I thought I'd do this little paint session in honor of her this evening. Oh yeah, back to my flat brush here. So Shannon, wherever you are, this paint session's for you, girl. Love you and miss you. Yeah, back to some tunes. That's working pretty well for that concrete. Like that. Brocker, I don't know how long you've been watching me paint, but I tend to experiment a lot. Um, this channel is meant to be educational for people who've been painting their whole lives and people who've just barely started or people that are thinking about getting started. And I kind of come from the Bob Ross school of knowledge when it comes to painting. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents. And I like to experiment. I encourage everybody to experiment. A lot of times I don't go into this with a plan. I kind of just I like to demonstrate the creative and it's just the creative process. You know, play with colors, play with shadows, play with airbrushes, find what works for you to get the effect that you want, and just have fun and enjoy it. I had some friends ask me if I could, hey, when you do video, do a long video, because I like to just get high. And this is just one example. A friend of mine was like, I like to just get high and watch your show, watch your channel. Like, okay. Rather than doing 2 edits on the same project, I figured, like, well, I could just live stream it, download the live stream when I'm done, and then cut that up to do the final video. And then, so at the end of a project, I can release a little 20-minute spot that does the quick rundown of the whole thing. And then if somebody wants, they can go watch the live stuff, and catch all the boring shit. Aaron Sarver, one of my dear subscribers, is the one that kind of inspired that to happen. Sorry if I'm missing comments. I'm like watching what I'm doing right now. So I have a plan for it. And that is this. I think I like that. That pot of Nonon oil is just about done. Happy with that. All right, now for some fun. We're gonna see what happens. Where is it? Okay. This, my friends, this is super expensive paint. And it is supposedly the blackest paint in the world. Um, and I'm going to paint the base part with it. So these bricks and everything with color are really going to light up on top of this. If this turns out the way I want it to. Like I said, I like to play. I like to experiment. And I encourage other people to do so. Um, so we're going to shake this up and see what happens. Have you ever tried this stuff, Brocker? This Muso Black? Are you still here, Brocker? Oh yeah, okay. I highly recommend it. It's not for everything, but it is really interesting to play with. It's got some very interesting properties. The best way I can put it. I almost want to airbrush it down, but I've never tried airbrushing it. It's pretty thick. I have not seen that color. I'll have to check that out. This stuff is comparable to if you've ever seen, if you watch Boyle Hobby Time, which I highly recommend his channel. Um, he uses Black 4.0 a lot, and that's like the next step down, supposedly, to this stuff. Um, I probably didn't pour nearly enough into the cup here. Get myself a nice big fat brush. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need a little more. Now, when I'm painting it on, it's gonna look pretty matte or glossy. I'll try to leave the base in the camera. I wish I could like do um, real time. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, time lapse. I wish I could do real time lapse so we could make the paint dry super fast and you could see the difference between when it first goes on. Anyways, I'm not cutting out early anyway, so if anybody has the patience to sit and watch this shit dry, because this is the last step on this base that I'm gonna do. And hopefully it pops off the way I want it to. I think it's gonna look really cool. Just getting a little moisture on my brush so that it spreads a little further. I need to get it a little closer to me, so I'm gonna adjust my camera. Here we go. This first part here, I can't really look at my camera. I'm gonna pay attention to what I'm doing. So I apologize if I miss any comments. Oops. Come here. Felt like I was being a little careless right there. And that's why I sealed that part first. Okay, something like that happened. There we go. Fixed it. A little more careful. Ooh. Guess my signal is like, nope. Can't play that. Let's see, we'll go back to this. Gosh darn it. God damn it. Alright, gotta fix that now. I need to be more careful. There we go. good. If you like what you're listening to and you've never heard it before, one, I don't own the rights to any of the music you're hearing. It's just stuff I find relaxing when I'm working. The name of the band is called Tortoise, and they are absolutely phenomenal. And I highly recommend you checking them out and supporting them. Buy a record or two. Super cool stuff. Been listening to these guys for many years. All right. Getting to the point where it's like, okay, now we wait. There we go. I think that's gonna call it good for the base. We can watch this stuff dry and do weird stuff. I don't think it translates on camera as well as it does in person. In person, when this stuff dries, it's like space disappears, or that's all there is space. It's like a black hole. It's really, really, really trippy looking in person. Um, like I said, if you haven't played with that paint before, it's called Muso Black. Where did I put the bottle? Oh, here, it's back here. And it comes from Japan, and it is really expensive. And yeah, it's really trippy stuff. Because of how expensive it is, I poured way too much in there, but I definitely want to save as much of it as I can. I've had this bottle for the better part of like probably 10 months now. I've used it on a couple things, a couple little projects here and there. Um, it's the kind of paint you get to play with. You just want to have this in your arsenal to experiment with, and you want to have it just to fuck around and find out. That's the best way I could put it. It's good stuff. It's fun. All right, go hang this brush up to dry. See if this helps it dry any faster. Yeah, that's helping it dry faster, all right. So watch as that dries. I don't know. Is that even translating on camera well? It's looking at it on my end. It's like there's a big hole there now. It's can't really describe it any other way. It's looking pretty good. Get some of this masking off. I'll get all this masking off. Oh, I am getting tired. Holy cow. That's probably about all I'm good for as far as paint work tonight. Yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. So now we can do kind of like an initial mock-up and see how the whole thing's gonna look. Readjust my camera here. There we go. And let's go see. Let's go get the rest of her, or part of her. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Oh yeah, that's looking sweet. She's gonna look good. What do you guys think? Is the base missing anything? I am looking for comments now. I'm looking at my box. You guys think the base looks good? Does it need anything? Am I missing something? I was thinking some graffiti, but I suck at graffiti. I don't know how to do graffiti. I mean, I guess I could look at some stuff online. She is dusty. Well, what do you guys think? What does it need? Does it need anything? Are we calling the base good? I would love to hear your input. There we go. No, nobody's got anything, huh? Yeah, I'd say she's looking pretty dope. I'm happy with that. The base looks good. You can see that Muso black really got nice and flat. Clean out my airbrush here. Yeah, Spider Gwen is coming along. If you guys haven't been watching, for whoever hasn't been watching or just popped in, just did the base tonight. I kind of dig how like the concrete portion turned out looking more like granite. Kind of, it's a little speckly looking. I like how that turned out. The bricks look nice. Really happy with the bricks, the way they turned out, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to call the base good. And tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to start working on her point shoes, as they call them in ballet. They're like a bright electric blue. She's got kind of an odd costume. All this is going to be black, like her tights or whatever. That's all going to be like a black, and then the upper part is white, and then she's got these like elements in here, if you can see. Oh, actually, that's not on camera. These elements in her arms here, right here, have some spider webbing and stuff. Same with the inside of the hood. And they're kind of like a magenta with the same blue that her point shoes have. So it's going to be fun. Some cool details to play around with. Boy, this primer, like every single teeny little speck of dust shows up. I'm going to have to get a fresh microfiber cloth to dust her off before I start painting her. So there will be some airbrushing going on, followed up with some dry brushing to bring out highlights on her costume and everything. Yeah, she's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to paint. It'll be even more fun to give her away. So I'm doing this in partnership, I guess, with Hobby Link International. Talked to Kenny over there and said, hey, since I won this model and I don't really need to do anything with it other than paint it, how about we give it away when I'm done painting it? So a giveaway became a giveaway. And that's what we're going to do. As soon as I'm done painting her, we're going to have a drawing. And somebody's going to win the beautiful Spider Gwen painted by yours truly. So it should be pretty cool. Anyhow, all that being said, I am tuckered out. And yeah, I'm going to call it a night. My back hurts. It's time for me to sit my butt down. Anybody got any questions or comments before I cut out tonight? Definitely want to wish everybody a very good Saturday. Oh, shit. It is Sunday morning now here in the United States. At least in Southern California it is. So, wishing everyone else out there a wonderful Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, depending on what portion of the planet you're on. But yeah, really want to thank you guys for hanging out and supporting the channel and checking out these live streams. I know that sometimes they can be a little boring. Hopefully, you learned something with me. I learn something every time I paint. And yeah, tonight's session was all about Shannon. Much love to you, girl. Miss you. Love you. You're an absolute legend. And it was an honor to know you. Yeah, this whole session goes out to you, girl. But yeah, thank you, everyone. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Really appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out. I I repeat myself sometimes. This whole live stream stuff is totally new to me, and I get a little nervous. But yeah, love you guys. Happy 3D printing. Happy painting. And I will look forward to seeing you again soon. Much love and toodles.